Hey guys, welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So if you're a return subby, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if the message resonates and if you feel drawn, please go ahead and subscribe so you're first to know on new videos that come out. So this is going to be the general weekly reading for the 21st of June until the 27th. So starting to come out of retrograde. We're getting close to the end of it. Let's see. So on Spirit. I've already shuffled offline, but I want to just shuffle a little bit more on camera. Okay, let's see what's going on. So, and sorry if you guys can hear background noise. My dogs are in here. They like to be part of the action. So overall, energy for the week is the 10 of Wands. Now, 10 of Wands is the end of something. 10s are usually an ending. 10 of Wands is carrying a heavy burden. It's carrying a big lift. And for many of us, we have been carrying a lot of like weight energetically. You know, lots of stuff has been going on. You know, Mercury retrograde is always known. There's a rhyme and reason for it, but it's always a challenge at times, especially when, you know, there's technology issues, expenses that come out of nowhere. And plus the energy has been pretty heavy anyway, because we've come into eclipse season. So a lot of things are moving out, things are moving in, and it's a big adjustment. So for many of you, the 10 of Wands is understanding that even though the burden or the weight feels heavy now, understand that it's going to be lifted soon. Anytime there's an ending, there's a new beginning, okay? And like I said, for many of you, you're like, when is this going to be freaking over? Well, the Hangman is a period of stagnation. So a lot of times, you know, especially in a retrograde, there's not always a lot of things moving very quickly, at least forward. A lot of times you're taking these backward steps. So it's like you take one step forward, 5 steps back. The Hangman, however, is really asking you to stay still almost, and it's being in a neutral position and trying to understand what's going on. And when you do that, you'll actually get more an enlightening kind of perspective. So even though things aren't moving, understand there's a reason for it. There's usually something that you need to learn and understand, or maybe an epiphany, you get a light bulb and you kind of understand the reason, or at least maybe a strategic approach for next steps. So I understand it's frustrating, but just kind of understand that if you surrender to this situation and just understand it's probably for the best, the greater good right now, you'll probably be better in the long run. If you fight against it, it's going to be a challenge, okay? So this week, this is interesting because this is a little bit of a conflicting energy with those two cards that I just talked about. We have the Chariot card in the money sector. The Chariot card in the money sector is that, you know, your investments might be growing. You might be seeing things move. You might starting to get a heads up that there could be potential partnerships or angel investors or people that are interested in what you're doing. But there could be, money doesn't look to be very challenging. However, one thing with the Chariot card is this is fast forward movement. And this might be a good reminder for some of you that easy money in can be easy money out. I don't think that's actually the right quote for that, but just be careful of overspending, and anytime you're getting money, you just like are spending it instantly. This would be kind of the time to hold back a little bit and be a little bit smarter. Spend less, save more type of mentality. I'm saying this ironically because today is the 21st and it's Prime Day. So if you have Amazon Prime, I think a lot of people do. They're like, yes, Prime deals. Is it something you really need, or is it because it's on sale? Just take that in consideration. Career looks actually pretty good. The Magician is all about you. It's all about you taking charge and taking lead and feeling confident and feeling powerful and having the ability to kind of create the career that you want. For some of you, and I feel like this is very similar energy as last week, I don't know why, but the Magician card is saying that you have everything at your fingertips that you need to actually make some forward movement, or to at least plan your next steps. The Magician is sometimes is known as the trickster, yes. So I would say just kind of be very thoughtful and careful in how, if you're going to launch anything right now, because we're still kind of in this retrograde. But the Magician is all about understanding that what you do now, the intentions you put out to the universe, the seeds that you start to plant, can have significant repercussions in the future for the positive. However, on the downside of that, if you don't do anything and you drag your feet, it's like you're going to be trying to play catch up, okay? So I saw a really great video, and I feel like I just need to share this really quickly, where if you feel like you're procrastinating, just do one thing. Just do one thing. So instead of saying, I'll do it tomorrow, like just open the book, just read one chapter, just Google search and start to see kind of like, you know, what you need to start to do to move forward if you're trying to build a business and you want to open an LLC, or maybe you're trying to look at, you know, different jobs in different, you know, locations, even globally. Are there remote positions? You're kind of just start doing the basic steps if you feel like you've been dragging your feet and you haven't been very like proactive. The magician is saying is what you put in motion can actually really serve you, but you need to put some action behind it, okay? So take control, be a leader, and start getting shit going. In relationships, you know, partnerships, friendships, because for some of you, love is not a priority. We got the Devil card. So this can be a bit of a challenging energy around relationships. So if you're in a partnership, if you're in a relationship, there's something either that makes you feel bound, or you feel like something has power over you. The Devil card is really asking us to look within and figure out what is keeping us chained or tied down to something that has control over us. Maybe you're in a relationship and it's very one-sided. Maybe like someone makes kind of all the money and you feel like you have to stay because you're reliant, you're dependent on them financially. It could mean that you don't want to be by yourself and you found this relationship and you're like, oh, I don't want to go back in the dating pool again. I just don't. I guess he's not that bad. I guess she's not that bad. You know, but really deep down, it's not something that you feel is the right thing for you. This can be that one or both of you in the relationship is having a power struggle, like trying to take lead and take control. You know, a relationship, any type of partnership, it's a compromise. So, you know, at some point someone's going to take lead and the other one kind of falls back and vice versa. It happens. It's kind of this interchange of energy, right? So I would say with this energy, especially, please have open and honest communication if you can. For many of you, this has probably been holding you back, or there's been some underlying situation that you don't want to bring to the surface because you don't want to start a fight, you don't want to start an argument. But the problem is the Devil it's like having control over you. So even having your emotions tied down, like you're pushing them down, it's going to bubble up at some point. So having open and honest, healthy communication can help kind of alleviate the stress that maybe you or your partner has been feeling. Same with a friendship. I feel like that could be going the same way. Now, for a very, very small handful of you, you know, this can certainly mean that the relationship is a little bit more destructive, where you have one person, and this doesn't have to mean a romantic partnership, but a relationship that you have in your life could be somebody that's dependent on drugs and alcohol, or they have a very addicted type of personality, which causes strain. So if you're going through this, or someone you know, I really, you know, my heart goes out to you. If you're single, I really don't see this as the week as like, you know, just trying to shoot for the fences for a love relationship. I feel like maybe your attention is really more focused on maybe more material things, like maybe finances, career. If you are going to go into the dating pool, I would say just be careful, because there could be people out there that are just looking for a good time, a short time, not a long time. So as long as you kind of know what you're getting into, I would just say, you know, kind of watch those red flags, because, you know, again, this could be a relationship that starts off really passionate and exciting, overwhelming, but it could turn into a kind of a control situation, okay? You know, communication-wise this week, we got the King of Wands. I'm going to say with the King of Wands, this is really time to stand up for yourself, to be a little bit more of an authoritative, just because the King is in that position. This is taking a stance and what you want. So if something's bothering you or you want to address something, this is probably a good time to do it. The king is diplomatic. You know, this is someone who is a leader, knows how to deliver a message. So again, you know, it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. But this week, I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be a little bit more vocal. And, you know, especially if you are a fire sign, King of Wands represents Aries, Leo, and Sag. So the filter might not be there. So you might want to just kind of think about that before you know, open up and say what you have to say. But remember, this is taking a diplomatic approach, a stance. You can be authoritative, you can be direct. Doesn't mean you have to be rude, but you're just taking a very proactive, a little bit more of an assertive stance communication-wise this week. You know, one thing, kind of actions, kind of something to kind of watch out for. We got the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is sometimes known as the miser card. This is, again, I would say this really falls back into that, like that Chariot card in the love section. I would just say this week is probably not the week to like just go splurge. This is, I would just say, kind of not to hold on to your money so tightly that it can't work for you, because money is energy, but I would tell you that this is the time to be a little bit more cost saving, you know, saving more than spending this week, just because sudden expenses might arise, which I hate, and just you need a little bit of a nest egg for the future, okay? Just things that could come up, and you have a little bit of a cushion to fall back on, which is good. So overall this week, watch your spending. You know, be direct in your communication when you need to. And again, career-wise, make things happen. Start to make shit happen. You have the power and you control. Get that confidence and understand that you have the power to move and shift yourself in any direction you want. Love, I would say, let's just watch for those red flags. Have open, honest communication. Because if you let something fester, it's going to grow into something worse in the future, and you don't want that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't follow me on Instagram and TikTok, please do so, because I do a lot of free readings there and you get more insights. Again, follow if you're not a subscriber, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.